My name is Jack, and I'm a 36-year-old architect living in Los Angeles. This is my story. The instant she declared he held more value than I ever did, I didn't lash out, cry, or even blink. I stood perfectly still, staring at the woman who once shared her most intimate dreams with me under the stars. Now she was praising a man whose smile lingered far too long whenever my back was turned. When she demanded I apologize to him, or else we were finished, a strange tranquility settled over me, like a violent storm suddenly dying into a profound stillness. We had been married for 4 years with a total of 7 years of shared history. Our lives were once a complex but beautifully balanced melody. I truly believed her laughter was real and that I could trust it completely. Then he appeared, her supposed best friend. He was the kind of man whose hugs lasted longer than a friendship should, whose eyes were fixed on her lips when she spoke. At first I said nothing. I refused to play the role of the jealous husband. But respect has a scent of its own, and I grew tired of watching boundaries being crossed. It wasn't one massive betrayal, but 1,000 small cuts. The laptop slammed shut late at night. Messages whispering, "You're my sanctuary forever." A sudden change in her phone's passcode. Matching bracelets I never thought to question, and a hotel charge she dismissed as a mistake. I never confronted her. I simply absorbed it, bottling the pain like a poison for later use. The breaking point arrived during a heated argument. I finally confronted him and he just smirked, his eyes sharp with arrogance. "She's already chosen me," his silence seemed to say. And she had, without a hint of hesitation, standing right there at his side. That night I walked away. I left the house, the keys, and the life I had built with my own hands. My weapon became silence. For 5 long days I used it without mercy. She called, texted, and even cried outside my door, but I answered nothing. Silence creates unease, and from that unease, desperation and mistakes are born. So I started digging. An old friend at her bank revealed she had secretly opened an account 9 months earlier, funneling in $20,000. She was preparing to leave me, never realizing I would be the one to leave first. I watched as she spread lies, telling our friends I was paranoid and unstable. I let her tarnish my reputation. I let them misjudge me because in their ignorance I found my leverage. His name was Alex, and he was a real estate agent by trade, a snake by nature. Years ago we crossed paths in business. He tried to cheat me with falsified documents, which cost me dearly. I reported him and his license was revoked. He never knew it was me who ended his career. Now here he was, sitting at my table, eating my food and touching my wife. This wasn't just infidelity. It was unfinished business. My first move was to gain leverage. Her secret account was comically easy to access. Her password, Harmony03, was as predictable as ever. I took screenshots of the transfers, the messages, all of it, and packaged them into a file I called Loyalty. Then I turned my attention to Alex. A friend in property law gave me a tip. 2 of his recent deals bordered on fraud. I sent an anonymous alert to the real estate board. Posing as a client, I tricked him into sending me forged listings, and I recorded every word. Those recordings went straight to his victims. On the 5th day, she finally broke. Sobbing outside my apartment, she begged. I let her in, held her hand, and pretended to forgive her. Then I slid the file across the table. As she flipped through the evidence, the screenshots, the transfers, the messages, all the color drained from her face. I told her I wouldn't destroy her reputation as long as she left quietly. No alimony, no demands, just the truth laid bare. She didn't argue. Her silence said everything. She walked away without a word. The final act was for Alex. He called, spitting threats and venom. I agreed to meet him at a diner, neutral ground. He swaggered in, full of false confidence. I arrived with nothing but composure and slid a flash drive across the table. I told him it contained proof of over a dozen victims, fraudulent sales, and forged documents. "You'll be lucky to sell cheap junk on the sidewalk when this is over," I said. His face turned ashen. I leaned closer and delivered the final blow. "She was never yours. You were just the match she used to burn herself down." Then I stood up and walked out without a second thought. 6 months have passed. She's living with her sister in New York now. Alex's license has been revoked once more. Rumor has it they've parted ways. People often ask me why I'm so calm, why there's no lingering bitterness. But revenge isn't born from rage. It thrives in clarity. That clarity arrived the moment she told me he meant more. In a way, she was right. He did mean more to her, but to me, he was just a tool.